to say hello to Austin Price of Volquest.com. He joins us each week thanks to Colossal Productions, colossalproductions.com. They can take your event, watch party, whatever you're planning, to an even bigger level with their huge 14 or 16-foot video walls, colossalproductions.com. Austin, thanks for the time as always. We have to wait until this evening for an availability report, but why wait? We have you. What's the latest that you hear on the health front with Tennessee? David Hobbs, does he return and make his season debut this week? And anybody else you're paying attention to on Tennessee's availability report this evening?
David Hobbs is the main one. I mean, most people expect him back. He'll be back this week. How much can he play? I would say you probably 20 to 25 snaps right out of the gate here, and then we'll see where things go from there. But Tennessee's fairly healthy. Obviously, they'd love to get Jermod McCoy back. He won't be back this week. And then I think you'll see, a few players that had to miss the Mississippi State game, Marion Dye or DeJuan Morris. Those players will be back in uniform this weekend when Tennessee plays Arkansas.
Any reason to believe that if David Sanders Jr. is healthy that we don't see him in the starting lineup? I know if you're Josh Heupel, you don't commit to that early in the week, but he was listed as a starter before the Syracuse game.
Yeah, I think that's where we're heading eventually. It could definitely be this weekend. They've had 2 weeks to prepare him, as Tennessee's starting right tackle, and that would mean shifting Jesse Perry inside. I think a lot of that, too, though, has to do with the fact that, Jesse Perry got dinged up in the Mississippi State game. Sam Pendleton got dinged up in the Mississippi State game. How healthy are they? I think they should be good to go, but, they were in walking boots a week ago as a precautionary deal coming off the Mississippi State game. If everything is good, I would expect Perry slides inside and David Sanders is your right tackle and Wyndham Moyes slides back to left guard. I think that's where we're eventually headed. Does it happen to start this game against Arkansas? I don't know, but I think that's where you're eventually headed, one way or the other, whether it's this Saturday or, next Saturday.
Are you anticipating any personnel adjustments, changes with, defending the run, having defense play a little bit better, or is it a situation where, Inge and the coaches are challenging the guys to play better and be where they need to be and make plays?
Yeah, I don't anticipate anybody shifting around. I think getting Hobbs back, being able to play Dom Bailey more outside at strong side defensive end, which is where he was going to start the year before Moy got hurt and Hobbs got hurt. I think that is big. I think that could definitely help Tennessee's ability off the edge to have him out there as a bigger body defensive end. And then I think a lot of it's just simple cleanup of technique and mechanics and, the way you handle certain blocks and getting off those blocks to make the play. I think those are the little things. I don't think they'll do a lot of, changing a lot around of, who plays what. I think Tennessee likes the way that several of the players are playing. Tyree West, Tyree Weathersby. They like what they're getting out of Eason. They love what they're getting out of, Dominic Bailey. And, again, I think getting healthier probably helps more than anything, Jason.
Austin Price, Volquest.com. David Gabriel Georges, Baylor High School. Oh, my goodness. One of the best players in the country, one of the best backs in the 27 class. What's Tennessee's chances with him? I know Ohio State is high on his list as well.
Grown man
is
the way I would put it. Tennessee's right there, right? I feel like they've got a lot of momentum in his recruitment. He and his family will be here this weekend. I'd also look for him to potentially be back for the Oklahoma game at the 1st of November. That's when Tennessee's slated to go dark mode. And so, yes, Tennessee's very much deep in the thick of that one. Some heavy Tennessee people down at Chattanooga Baylor. And then you factor in, you got Jamin Theodore, the corner that's committed to Tennessee, Gabe Osenda, offensive lineman, committed to Tennessee, both a year older than David, but the two players that he's extremely close with, much like a year ago he was tight with Kim Dodson. So there's a lot of Tennessee flavor at Baylor that I think helps add to Tennessee's chances of landing the Canadian-born and ever-booming recruitment of David Gabriel Georges.
Austin Price, Volquest.com. What else or who else should Tennessee fans know about this upcoming weekend on the recruiting front with Tennessee back at home?
There'll be a lot of players. It's going to be a full house, right? Tennessee's going to get, several players in town for this weekend, and this one and the Oklahoma weekend. The Oklahoma weekend is probably the mega weekend that's left on the schedule, but this one's got some really solid players as well, as a lot of in-state kids roll to town, roll over to campus, and then Tennessee works to, can they get, some 26s like a Drake Quinn? Can they get him back to campus? He was at the game for Georgia, then went to Clemson, where he decommitted that weekend, then was at Mississippi State to watch Tennessee play Mississippi State, kids from around Starkville originally before he moved to Buford. Can Tennessee get him back in this weekend? I think that's a possibility as we head to the weekend. Obviously, Texas is swinging hard there as well, trying to land Drake Quinn. I know he's got the one prediction in for Texas, but if he shows back up to Knoxville this weekend, after watching Tennessee play Georgia and then watching Tennessee play on the road at Mississippi State, 2 and 2 and 2 and 2 is 8. like you start adding things up a little bit better. That he's
Tennessee quite a bit. So I'm interested to see if he makes it back to town. I know they'd love to have him. We'll see if he makes it. Either way, I know Tennessee's deep in that one.
Hey, Austin, on the field on Saturday, Tennessee's starting punt returner will be?
Man, that's a great question, Josh. I think it'll be Boo Carter. I would suspect it'll be Boo Carter, but I would have thought it would have been Boo Carter, for Mississippi State, and it wasn't the case. Now, people forget Boo muffed 2 punts the previous 2 games, but they didn't bench him then, so I don't know why they went in a different direction to start, the game against Mississippi State. But I would venture to say that the starting punt returner would be Boo Carter.
And that's an area of
concern,
improvement that you need this week, right, as special teams in general, not just the punt return position, but special teams after the Mississippi State game.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Obviously, the muff punt was a game changer early, especially when your defense had the momentum. They had that great 3-and-out. You're getting your offense the ball, and then you muff the punt. But also, giving up the fake punt, for a first down. I thought, I don't know how you guys felt. I felt like Tennessee was in major trouble when they faked that punt. And then the next play, Tyree West took the quarterback's soul, and Josh Joseph scored. Yeah. I mean, talk about swing of emotions, but, you just can't have those little mistakes on special teams, especially when, on the whole, your offense was doing pretty well, and your defense early on gave you something to get a spark about, and then you let Mississippi State off the hook.
One player you got that you need to play well for Tennessee to win.
I would go Joey Aguilar on offense, and if you're saying don't go quarterback, I think Tennessee really needs the running game to get going. So whoever that is that Deshaun Bishop? Is it Star Thomas? I'm interested to see if Tennessee's a little bit more deliberate in running the football. Everybody's went on this escapade the last couple of weeks, but Tennessee's not been as good. It's fractions. Their yards per carry is fractions off from where it was a year ago. Mm-hmm. The difference is there's not a commitment to run the football as much as they did a year ago, because guess what? They can throw it.
Yep.
So they might have gotten a little bit pass happy, but it's kind of like I described on our Volquest podcast. I may even said this on your show a week ago. You used to driving a go-kart from your house to work. All of a sudden, you get a sports car, and you're like, well, look at this. Vroom, vroom. Like you wouldn't be able to go fast. People won't throw the football. And when you showed you can do it, and the receivers are playing well, the quarterback's playing well, it probably makes things a little bit more advantageous to not be as run-heavy. So I still think Tennessee wants to improve the yards per carry. I'm interested to see how much they dedicate to the running game Saturday, but I don't think the running game's too far off. It's just a matter of being a little bit more dedicated to doing it.
Hey, Austin, last thing, we'll get you out of here. The transfer portal window moving from 2 windows for football to 1 in January, starting January 2nd. It'll be a 2-week window. What do you think, hearing that, how that affects things with 1 window instead of 2 and it taking place in January?
I think it'll make everybody.
There's been all this chatter. You've heard national guys, so it's going to be wild in the transfer portal window. That was the last several years when there was two. I think this year will actually be the year where you could say that and it'll be true. It's not been that true the last couple of years. I mean, you've had a few guys go here and there, but for the most part, it's never been this wild with like huge names. I think you'll see a lot of kids, especially if they're not
sold on the place they're at, if they're not sold on the pitch that they're being told by the staff that they're playing for, that they're going to have a legit shot, if they don't think I have a real shot to win the job, I think you have to entertain looking heavily to transferring, because if you stick around and you don't win the job, then you wasted a whole nother year. In previous years, you could at least go through spring, see where you're at, you get a better feel. I don't think you can do that. I think it's going to be more interesting. It's going to be more dicey. Decisions will have to be a little bit more deliberate when it comes to the transfer portal, because you have that one window and it's either go or don't go. And there's no like, we'll see later. No, it's a whole nother year at the current school you're at if you choose to stay.
I agree with you. Volquest.com, that's where you can read the work from Austin and his colleagues. As he mentioned, the Volquest podcast, you can see and hear the guys there at Volquest.com. He joins us each week thanks to Colossal Productions. Austin, thank you for the time, and we'll talk to you again next week.
Sounds good, guys. Appreciate you.